Hello everyone and welcome back to a modelled writing video. If you've been with us before, then you will know how we will structure these videos. If you're new here, welcome, and I hope that this is beneficial for you today. We are going to look at task 2 questions for the writing part of the IELTS exam. So we've got 2 different topics and 2 different styles of questions that we'll be attempting today. We'll be planning them and then we'll be doing the write-up as if we are in the exam itself. So come along today if you are planning for your IELTS exam. Maybe you've got it booked. Maybe you want some more information on task 2, some tips. You've come to the right place. Okay, let's get started then with the first topic, all about travel. The question: some people think that it is necessary to travel abroad to learn about other countries, while others think that it is not necessary to travel abroad because all the information can be seen on TV and the internet. Discuss both views and give your opinion. Okay, let's think about this question. So we are being told what to do. We want to discuss both statements and then give our opinion. So what are the statements? Some people think that it is necessary to travel abroad in order to learn about other countries, while others think that that's okay because it's all on TV and the internet. Okay, so I think for the purpose of this essay, we're going to argue that it is necessary to travel abroad in person to learn about other countries because the TV and the internet can't provide all of the experiences, the real life experiences. So we want to present both sides and then we want to weave in our opinion. So paragraph 1 will be the opinion that we are not arguing for. So let's TV and internet. Okay, so we're presenting that actually this view, some people believe this view, and what are the benefits? Well, we live in a time, we live in the technology age. There's so much information out there and so many sources. So many sources of information nowadays. And we can talk about how journalism has transformed in recent years. So there's definitely an emphasis now on anyone can become a creator and anyone can take a camera to any part of the world and record what they are viewing, interview people. They can really take things into their own hands. And for the first time, well, not for the first time, but we are seeing a lot more footage from remote areas, places that you wouldn't have seen before, interviews that you wouldn't have seen before, sorts of independent journalism, filmmakers, photographers are being able to put their work out there, and we are learning a lot from it. So that's what we can talk about in paragraph 1. Paragraph 2, and this is what our opinion is going to focus on. We're going to talk about how traveling is necessary in person. Technology can never replace real life experiences. Technology can never replace real life. Maybe we can see you can never trust journalism 100%. Never fully trust what you're seeing. Fully trust media. And you, in real life, unexpected and incredible things can happen. So you might get a side to the country that you can never see through technology. Unexpected, wonderful things can happen in person. So, for example, hospitality, you might see insights that you can't with through the screen, through videos and things like that. So, yeah, that's what we're going to argue in our second paragraph. So, the conclusion then, screens will never replace real life. Well, of course, these are just our notes, so we'll think of synonyms as we go along, but this is going to help us stay on track, stay focused, and not waver from our opinion, which is really important for those top marks. Okay then, so what do we need to do? Well, we need to do the same thing that we always do, and we need to paraphrase the statement here. Some people think that it is necessary to travel abroad to learn about other countries, while others think that it is not necessary to travel abroad because all the information can be seen on TV and the internet. Okay, so let's start with there is a debate around the topic of travel. One side believes that it is essential to visit other places in order to learn about them, whilst the other view is that due to technology, we can feel like we are traveling. Or due to technology, we can receive, we can gain experience, gain just as valuable knowledge through the screen. Or due to technology, all the knowledge required can be obtained through the screen. There is a debate around the topic of travel. One side believes that it is essential to visit other places in order to learn about them, whilst the other view is that due to technology, all the knowledge required can be obtained through the screen. Okay, so this essay, what are we going to do? This essay will present both opinions and argue that real life experiences are the most valuable in terms of gaining cultural awareness, maybe. This essay will present both opinions and argue that real-life experiences are the most valuable in terms of gaining cultural awareness. Okay, so we've got our paraphrase sentence, we've got our outline of our essay, what we're going to do. We've gone back and edited, made sure it's all okay grammatically. Let's dive into the TV and the internet. So in the age of technology, now more than ever before, we have extensive, we have every resource available to learn about almost every part of the world. Okay, now more than ever before, we have every resource available to learn about almost every part of the world. Okay, so what is our main point? That's our topic sentence. Let's go into how everything's available and technology, interconnectedness, this idea of it's becoming a small world, everything is there. Okay, so we can talk about YouTube especially being a valuable resource. So in the past, we can talk about how programs were limited. There were limited programs. About different countries. Or there were limited channels in the past on TV and programs about different countries. In stark contrast with the rise of platforms such as YouTube, capital Y for a proper noun, journalism has had a revolution almost in terms of regarding the fact anyone can record or can document news independently, creating content from even more or creating content about remote parts of the world. So let's think of an example. I know that there are YouTube channels dedicated to, say, rural life in Azerbaijan. For example, there are channels dedicated to posting about rural life in Azerbaijan. So let's argue that with this in mind, it's almost like you're getting a first-hand experience. With this, you are witnessing a first-hand experience of different customs and a and a unique way of life. Let's link it back to the question. Therefore, presenting a reason. Therefore, we want to say that there is no need to travel. Therefore, with practically in an age, in a time where there is a video about everything you can imagine, where there is a travel video about everything you can imagine, an individual or getting on a plane seems redundant. Okay, let's read this back. In the age of technology, now more than ever before, we have every resource available to learn about almost every part of the world. In the past, there were limited channels on TV and programs about different countries. Let's change this. There were limited channels on TV and therefore not as many programs, not as many cultural programs. In stark contrast with the rise of platforms such as YouTube, journalism has had a revolution regarding the fact anyone can document news independently, creating content about remote parts of the world. For example, there are channels dedicated to posting about rural life in Azerbaijan. With this, you are witnessing a first-hand experience of different customs and a unique way of life. Therefore, in a time where there is a travel video about everything you can imagine, getting on a plane seems redundant. Okay, I think that's good. That's one side of the argument. Now let's present the other side, which is our opinion. With all this being said, or maybe let's just address this and state our opinion. So even though technology has a wide scope, it can and will never replace someone's real life experience abroad. Okay, so our main points. Let's talk about you can't trust journalism. The argument of journalism, or the journalism, the video argument is flawed as you are not able to fully trust someone else's, somebody's content. They may be doing it for ulterior motives such as views or such as views. So even though you might think you're witnessing it firsthand, it might not be real and it might be for other reasons. Or maybe the YouTube argument is flawed, or the social media. Let's talk about how you can never truly let everything sink in if there is a screen. The idea of having a screen completely separates an individual from the experience. Senses are diminished and nuances that you can only see with your own eyes do not translate through a piece of technology. Okay, so we're talking about how content cannot be trusted, this idea of a screen separates the individual from the experience. Senses such as smell are eradicated. This is a big part of travel. And nuances that you can only see with your eyes do not translate through a piece of technology. Okay, let's develop this a little bit more about how unexpected and incredible things can happen. In real life, unexpected and wonderful things, wonderful events can happen, such as gestures of great hospitality. And this is the true, and this is the authentic culture, and this is the authentic culture that that you are experiencing sort of firsthand or in the present moment that you can enjoy in the present moment. This is unrivaled, something like this. Let's read it back. Even though technology has a wide scope, it can and will never replace someone's real-life experience abroad. The social media argument is flawed as you are not able to fully trust someone's content. They may be doing it for ulterior motives such as views. The idea of having a screen completely truly separates an individual from the experience. Senses such as smell are not eradicated, but are left out. This is the big part of travel. And nuances that you can only see with your eyes do not translate through a piece of technology. In real life, unexpected and wonderful events can happen, such as gestures of great hospitality, and this is the authentic culture that you can enjoy in the present moment. This is unrivaled. Okay, let's tie this all together now. In summary, although it cannot be dismissed, so we're not ignoring the fact that technology is vast, that there is a wealth of knowledge on global countries online. A present or a genuine in-person moment will always be essential when if you want to will always be essential if you want to see the true culture of a country. Maybe for the reasons described. In summary, although it cannot be dismissed that there is a wealth of knowledge on global countries online regarding global countries online, for the reasons described, a genuine and in-person experience moment will always be essential if you want to see the true culture of a country. Okay then, so we've edited, we've made sure everything sounds okay. We've got good examples in there, variety of sentence structures, related vocabulary. Let's check the words. All right, so this comes to a total of 355 words. So over the 250 minimum, but there is no upper limit. So this is definitely the structure you can follow, and then you can, of course, adapt it to the timings in the exam itself for you. But as long as you have a topic sentence, example, an explanation, and always linking it back to the question, making sure you're answering the question, then that's the most important thing. All right, well, let's go into our next topic then. All about education. So this could come up, this is a big topic that could come up. It could be high school, it could be university. This one's about secondary schools. In some countries, secondary schools aim to provide a general education across a range of subjects. In others, children focus on a narrow range of subjects related to a particular career. Which do you think is appropriate in today's world? Okay, so this is another way of saying which one do you agree with? So we have to present both views and then we will clearly state our opinion with the view that we agree with. So similar in the advantages and disadvantages, we present both sides and then we state our opinion. Okay, what are the two sides here today? Secondary schools aim to provide a general education. And then the other one, some schools focus on a narrow range of subjects related to a particular career. Okay. So here's the question, and we're going to just write up our plan. So the one that I think I'm going to argue is more appropriate, and I'll put second, so that we end with our opinion. I think that's nice. I think general education is more appropriate. So I'm going to start with a narrow range of subjects. So a narrow range. So what are the benefits to a narrow range? Well, of course, this is good for children who know what they want to do. Saves time as well for them. And we'll put in an example about maybe kids who want to go into agricultural studies. They have more available to them, so they can study plant biology, soil management, things that you wouldn't get to study in general education so much. Okay, then on the flip side, general education, well, I'm going to argue that this is more appropriate because many kids don't know what they want to do. So secondary school, you start at age 12 or 13 in the UK. So many kids don't know what they want to become when they're older. So general education provides, they can then learn about a variety of subjects. E.g. history, and this helps them learn about culture. It might help them find their passion. And also, if you're in a narrow range of subjects, what happens if you change your mind? It's more appropriate to have a general education to fall back on rather than a narrow range, because if children change their mind, this does happen quite a lot, and if you have a broader range of subjects, then you will struggle less with finding another route to go down rather than a narrow range. Okay, so in conclusion then, narrow range is beneficial for some children, but general education is more suitable on the whole. That's our opinion. We're just putting it in our notes so that we stay on track here. Okay, so we've got our first body, which is going to tackle the side that we're not agreeing with. Then we're stating that general education is more appropriate with our opinion. So we're going to weave in our opinion to the body here and just restate what we've talked about in the conclusion. Okay then, so let's go to the write-up, and the first thing we're going to do, as always, is to paraphrase these actually two sentences here. So in some countries, secondary schools aim to provide a general education across a range of subjects. In others, children focus on a narrow range of subjects related to a particular career. Okay, let's have a think. In various nations around the world, high school offers a broad range of options for study, whereas in other places, this institution we have provides, we have offers, presents a niche area that leads to presents a niche area of study, of learning that leads to a specific career path. Let's read this back. In various nations around the world, high school offers a broad range of options for study, whereas in other places, this institution presents a niche area of learning that leads to a specific career path. Okay, so what are we going to do with this essay? We want to tell the examiner. This essay will examine both sides and argue that general education is more suitable for society, for the younger generation as a whole. This essay will examine both sides and argue that general education is more suitable for the younger generation, or general generation, for kids as a whole. Okay then, so let's present the narrow range first. So there are, of course, benefits to being able to specialize in a particular area, which in school, which would then lead to a more defined path upon leaving. In other words, a career. This is our topic sentence. So there are, of course, benefits to being able to specialise in a particular area in school, which would then lead to a more defined path upon leaving the school, or maybe upon graduating. Okay, so what are the benefits? Well, let's go into, this is perfect for children who know what they want to do, and this therefore in turn saves time in the long run. This system is ideal for individuals who have a clear sense of what they want to do when they are older. And in turn, this saves them a lot time and money, perhaps. And perhaps money. Okay, let's dive into the example of agriculture. This can be seen with sectors such as agriculture. If a student has the opportunity to learn about plant biology and soil management, for example, this fast tracks them in this career, ultimately improving their prospects. Okay, so this is our sort of one side. There are, of course, benefits to being able to specialise in a particular area in school, which would then lead to a more defined path upon graduating. This system is ideal for individuals who have a clear sense of what they want to do when they are older, and in turn, this saves them time and perhaps money. This can be seen with sectors such as agriculture. If a student has the opportunity to learn about plant biology and soil management, for example, this fast tracks them in their career, ultimately improving their prospects. Okay, let's just add a line that this can be applied to many areas, to many industries, such as beauty, or many trades, many areas, such as beauty, plumbing, and let's think of another a niche sort of area that kids can learn about. This can be applied to industries such as beauty, plumbing, and that's okay. Maybe we can add to this, such as beauty and maybe trades like plumbing. Trades like Okay, so we've just added an extra line there. All right, so let's now dive into our opinion, which is going to be about to argue that general education is in fact the most appropriate option for society. So let's just address the last paragraph. So a narrow range or specific studies mentioned above lends itself to a small section of a small percentage of the younger generation. On the whole, it is clear that children, that it is far more we don't want to say beneficial. We use beneficial. Yeah, we've used benefits. Appropriate, suitable, have we used? On the whole, it is clear that it is far more suitable to offer children a plethora of subjects to study. Okay, so that's our opinion. We're making that clear to the examiner. Let's dive into why. Why is this our opinion? Well, many children don't know what they want to do. So this can help open doors, broadens the mind to various subjects, presents opportunities. The primary reason why this system should be implemented is the fact that many young people, understandably, do not know what they want to do. For this reason, they should be allowed to try a variety of topics to learn, and through this they can develop their own sense of interests and passions. History, for instance, can broaden the mind and one's sense of culture and belonging. This can be missed when we push kids to specialize, push students to specialize early on. Okay, so we've talked about how the primary reason that they don't know what they want to do, so everything should be offered to them so that they can try. Now let's also talk about what if you change your mind as well. So an additional concern of a narrow education is the worry of a student changing their mind. If they no longer want to pursue a certain path, it is important. We want to talk that they have a backup, a sort of something to fall back on. That they have a wide range of options to fall back on. Okay, let's just tie this back to the question now, make sure that we're answering it. So for these reasons, a non-specialist secondary education should be followed. Okay, let's read this back. Specific studies mentioned above lends itself to a small percentage of the younger generation. On the whole, it is clear that it is far more suitable to offer children a plethora of subjects to study. The primary reason why this system should be implemented is the fact, the primary reason, let's just do, is the fact that many young people, understandably, do not know what they want to do. For this reason, they should be allowed to try a variety of topics, and through this they can develop their own sense of interest, maybe their own passions. History, for instance, can broaden the mind and one's sense of culture and belonging. This can be missed when we push students to specialise early on. An additional concern of a narrow education is the worry of a student changing their mind. If they no longer want to pursue a certain path, it is important they have a wide range of options to fall back on. For these reasons, a non-specialist secondary education should be, we can use the word implemented now. Implemented. Okay, so I think that's good. We've got both sides, but we've clearly stated our opinion in the second one here. It's large, it's bigger. We've used our, we've made it clear that this is the most beneficial path to take. So now we can just wrap this up with a conclusion. So in conclusion, we can say it is, we can't deny, so it is undeniable that schools that offer, that schools offering career-led courses have benefits, have significant benefits, advantages to some students. However, we are doing a disservice to the younger generation if we do not include we've used variety, broad range, include a maybe a broader spectrum of we've used subjects, studies, broader spectrum of opportunities in order to allow kids to have more time to decide their maybe destiny. Let's read this back. In conclusion, it is undeniable that schools offering career-led courses have significant advantages to some students. However, we are doing a disservice to the younger generation if we do not include a broader spectrum of opportunities in order to allow kids to have more time to decide their destiny. Okay, this is a bit of a longer essay here, but let's count the words and see how we're doing with this one. Okay, so this answer has come to 367 words. So we have a bit of a higher word count there, but you can see how we've structured it. And we've started with the side that we're not agreeing with. That's what we're going for in these videos. And I think that makes for a stronger essay because you want to end with your opinion here. So if you wanted to make this a bit smaller, then of course you could take away with an example, for example, this part here, to make it more realistic perhaps. if you wanted to shorten it for the exam. But yes, at least you can see what we're following here, how we're structuring it, and this is definitely something you can follow in your practice. So I hope that's been useful today. We've looked at 2 different topics, 2 different styles of questions, definitely styles of questions which can throw students off. So I think it's really good to look at those and talk through them together. If you've got any comments or questions, feedback, then we'd like to hear from you as always, and we'll see you in the next video.